Today I'm going to be reviewing this book. We'll get into it in a minute. But as always, I like to let the live stream start for a couple minutes, make sure that the audio and video is correct. Because as you can imagine, if it's not, it's a big problem. In fact, that's how I noticed it, that we had a problem a second ago. But welcome. Let me say hello to everybody that's in the chat. Let me change something here really quick. Hold on. There we go. That's not supposed to happen. All right. Just give me a sec. Make sure. All right. Looks pretty good to me. Hello, everybody. Hello, Carl. Hello, Tim. Hello, Lady in a Piano. We got Graham back once again. Jan, welcome, Jan. I don't know why I said welcome, guys. And welcome, everybody else. We got Seam Die. Yay. I agree. So here we go. Let me kind of get my thoughts collected. Oh, I need to start the Facebook stream. It should take 20 seconds or so. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Hello, students. Welcome to our classroom piano lessons on the web. I'm your teacher, Tim. If you're watching over on Facebook, make sure you like our page. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed. You have all notifications turned on by hitting the bell, ding, because we have new lessons coming out all the time, and you don't want to miss a beat. And once again, my crazy microphone has a mind of its own, so we'll have to deal with today, and then I'll have to actually put some work into fixing it. Not sure what happened there. All right, so welcome everybody. Let me get the book off the floor here because it fell down, and let me check my notes, and then we will be ready to go. So just let me bring it up. I pretty much have it up already. I keep sliding. Stop doing that. Okay. Here we go. All right. If you're a beginner learning piano, you're looking for a great collection of pieces to learn in order of difficulty. Well, your piano teacher Tim has you covered once again, because today I am going to be reviewing Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Course, Book 1. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. Probably going to use this view for the most part, except this freaking thing. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. Will that do it? That helped. That helped a lot, actually, so that's good. Maybe bring this back here. Hold on. Wait, why scene? Oh, nothing added there. Okay, yeah, I think this will do it for the book. So, the view of the book. Okay, so I'm going to explain some reasons why this book is so awesome. First things first is, if you know nothing about piano, the first few pages break down some very important key information, like, the numbers on your fingers, basically how notes are played on the piano, curving your hands while playing. So if you don't have a teacher, this stuff is pretty handy. If you do have a teacher, they're probably going to work you through it. And then how the musical alphabet works. So it really does a good job of laying the groundwork out even before you start playing. The very cool thing about it, as well, is once the warm-ups start, or the pieces start, they go in a very, very good and meticulous order in terms of difficulty. So you're not going to be lost at any point. They're not really going to have any gaps in music knowledge. So they start out really, really simple. They're just like 5-finger exercises in the beginning, just to get accustomed to playing on the piano, playing with the treble clef, playing it with the bass clef, and then it moves on to the bass clef. Each page will introduce a new concept, like the whole note, and then you'll be playing the whole note on that page. So very useful as well. And then the other thing I love about this book is, even though it starts out slow, it really builds faster and faster as you go through the book in a way that most students, I find, that they can handle. Because a lot of students, if you move too quickly, they get lost pretty easy. So this one is very, very well balanced in that regard. As you can see, we're already talking about rest. We're playing with both the grand staff, the treble clef and bass clef together. You got I'm blanking on it for some dynamics. I've only said that word about 1,000,000 times. I can't believe I couldn't remember it, but brain farts and all that. So by page 17 or so, you're already playing Jingle Bells, a well-known piece with both hands at the same time. So it really, really does an excellent job, Brother John. A lot of you have probably heard that one. Merrily We Roll Along, which probably should sound familiar. Leave in the comments what piece that really is. It does a really, really good job at building and building and building. See, even as I'm flipping through the pages here, you can see how it gets more and more complicated. Now, it might look like it's getting complicated too quickly, but that's just because I'm scrolling past each of these pages. So let's jump ahead a bit. So then you're moving from like C position into G position. So it's getting you playing into different positions, which is great. They introduce sharps and things like that. So it does a really good job, like I said, at adding all this stuff. Let's go ahead quite a bit. As you can see, I fast forwarded like maybe 20 pages, quite a bit more complicated. So there's a ton of content and things to practice here, which is terrific. Now, do you need a teacher for this book? Well, I mentioned no, but it certainly helps because the teacher then can give you feedback. If you're confused about anything, they can explain it. But if you don't have one, it's not 100% necessary. So, going on the flats, I really want to go to Joy to the World, something we all know, or a lot of us do, Top of Old Smoky. So as you can see, as you get through like the 3/4 of the way through the book, you're starting to encounter more and more, popular pieces that people know really well, which is probably the best part of the book. Because when I introduce this book to a student, I'll show them the beginning, but then I'll be like, well, wait a second, and I'll flip all the way to the back and play some of the pieces in the back, and they're just blown away at what you'll be able to play at the end. The Can, a lot of us have probably heard that one, the Marines hymn, and then as you get like towards the end, they get really cool. I really like the collection at the end. You got Green Sleeves. Oops. Let me do that part again. And then as you get further and further to the back, you get more and more pieces that are just really fun to play and really well known. So you got Green Sleeves here, as you can see right there. You've got Go Down Moses, maybe not as popular of a one, but a lot of us have heard that one. Scarborough Fair. Now, where are the good ones? Come on. Oh, he's got The Whole World in His Hands. Not my favorite, but certainly well known. The Entertainer. I'll play The Entertainer before we conclude today. And just to show you what that one's like. That one's almost all the way through the book. And all the ones after The Entertainer are pretty great. You got Amazing Grace. You got Over the Rainbow. Fantastic. And a very good version of it, too. So it's more of an adult version. Like, it's not going to hold your hand too much, but it's also not crazy and unplayable, at least by the time you get to the end. Singing in the Rain. I just love these ones. Even Laura's not as well known, but that one is very fun to play. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Perfect. Ballad of Gilligan's Island. Some of you might know that one if you're older than 30, probably. All you boomers out there that aren't really boomers yet. You got Chattanooga Choo Choo as the last one. It's a 4-pager, but a really fun one to play. So by the end of the book, you're playing some really, really cool stuff. Let me play The Entertainer for you. All right, guys, I did not plan ahead to play one of these. Like, I knew that it would be a good idea to do it. So, wait. Let me get this book. Because anytime, here's a little tip for you. This will not be in the video when we edit it. If you ever get one of these books, you're always going to have trouble with them staying open. They're always going to want to close because the materials are so new. So what you do is you open up to the page you want to turn to, and you do this. You fold it back. And then what you do with the spine, this is pro tips here, is first of all you press it down, but then you like bend it a little bit, just each way, you know, with your hands. Takes a little bit of strength, but when you do that, it stays open really well. So that's the key. I've done it 1,000 times, so that's why I'm an expert. I got a big brain on that topic anyway. Everything else, not so sure. So let's take a look. And then some people in the comments are going to be like, Tim, you are smart. Why are you doing this? And it's like, I'm just kidding. Just joking. All right, here's the tip. You fold it back. You bend just a little bit. You don't want to ruin it. And there you go. It leaves a tiny little crease here or there, but not too bad. Now, here's the part that I did not account for. Is that oh, it worked. Okay, cool. So I have it in front of me. I can't really show you what it looks like at the same time while I play it, but I kind of showed you already. So here we go. I might have to play it through once or twice, just so I get the hang of it, but I have played it many times before, so it should go pretty well. Oops. All right, a decent warm up. Let me try it, hopefully for real this time. All right, here we go. There you go. A couple mistakes here. It's really hard because I have the microphone like right in front of my face. So I think that was good enough. You know what? I'm probably gonna play one more. A message to my editor. I'm gonna play one more. Include it in if the lesson is less than 10 minutes long. If it's over 10 minutes, cut her out. All right. Let me try Amazing Grace, probably another one a lot of people would like to hear. So yeah, just give me a second here. All right, here we go. All right, let me do this. I'm going to show you one more piece out of towards the end of the book that you might like to hear, Amazing Grace. Let me show you. All right, here we go. Oh, it has a pedal. All right, let me try it one more time. And there we go. All right. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. Let me check how everybody's doing here. All right, cool. Let's see what we got here. I played it so fast. Yeah, I did kind of realize like that last playthrough. I was like, yeah, I'm playing it pretty fast, but what are you going to do? I'm just going to get a ton of comments about that. You can get it from Amazon. Just a disclaimer, there is a link in the description for you. Also, if you scroll all the way to the top, there's a link there for you as well. It's an affiliate link, just meaning that whatever sales get through that link, a small percentage goes back to me. So I do make some sort of money on the deal. Just letting you know that. I actually have to let you know that because of like FCC regulations, I think, and I could get fined if I do not. So I gotta let you know. All right, we got a lady in a piano. Thank you so much for the $3 super chat. Really appreciated it. Appreciate it. And yeah, so there are 3 levels in this book. I'm gonna obviously make a lesson on each one, or video on each one. I know it's kind of a shorter type of lesson because it just, not a whole lot to talk about here other than like how great the book is. All right, so hopefully everybody thought that was enjoyable. Enriching. I'm still here. I'm not leaving yet, but that is over for the main part of the lesson. I'm gonna run through some things though. Let's see, Tim, do we get digital versions of the copies of the book for download purposes? Well, not for free, Laredo, but if you go to the link, I sent you the Amazon link. There's like also a Kindle version. I think I need to possibly get linked up with another company that offers digital books, because I know that a lot of you prefer that now. I'm on the fence about it. I like both. I like having... I see the advantages of doing both, have the digital or the main book. So sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. I was super tired, and I was like, you know what? It's probably going to go better if I just give it another day, get some rest. I wasn't sick or anything. I was just tired. All right, PB says, I just happened to buy this book about a month ago, and I think it's great. Well, that's great, PB. Glad to hear it. Crystal Moody says, history question. How did the keys on the piano come to be black and white? Anybody know? I do not. So you can fill us in if you know. I'd imagine it's just based on where I don't know. It's too complicated of an answer for me, but it has to do with where like the half steps and whole steps are. Now, I'm not 100% sure why this is, but there's only a half step between E and F. So they're white keys, but like between C and C sharp, between C and D is a whole step. So they needed a half step in between them. And it's the way the major scale's laid out. I can't articulate it well. I kind of get why it's like that, but I don't know. It's just too much for me today. Great stuff, Tim. First time here, guitarist learning piano. Thank you so much, Seem. Glad that you could make it today. Bum. All right, lady and a piano says I'm old school and I like to write on my music. Well, then the book is for you. You can do that on tablet as well. Would you take song requests? No, I don't. So, this is a question by Graham, and I don't mean to be a jerk about it. It's just I can't do it. It would take too long, and then it would be it would never ever end. Like seriously, it would just be every live stream. It would be that. It would be. Can you play this song? Can you play this song? No, I'm just kidding. I can't. Or maybe one day I'll do a live stream just a song request, but only if you give me a $10 super chat. Maybe I'll do that. But then it would take up the whole lesson, and I don't know. And then I'd feel kind of bad about it. All good, says Graham. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Graham. All right. Let me kind of just walk you guys through what's coming up over the next couple weeks, and maybe we'll adjourn a little bit early today. Let me show you. So over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, click on the community tab at the top, and then you get the calendar of what we're talking about and when. So we are finishing out the month here. We got 4 more lessons after today. We got lead sheet symbols on Friday. Lead sheet is like, you're going to find it a lot in jazz, and that's basically like, instead of having the treble clef and bass clef written out, you'll have the treble clef written out, like the melody, but above each of the measures, you'll have what's called lead sheet symbols, which tell you basically what you should be doing with your left hand in terms of the chords and such. Transposition is on Sunday. I've never talked about transposition on the channel, at least not in any kind of detail. So I'll be doing that. Check that out. And then Friday and... Oh, yeah. I need to make that... Okay, yeah. Friday, the 22nd, is sight reading apps. And so I did a lesson on apps already, but this will obviously be more specific just to sight reading. And I'll review those. And then the student showcase at the end of the month. I haven't gotten any submissions for the student showcase yet. So how it works is you submit to me a recording of you playing. So you can submit it to me through email, tim@lessonsontheweb.com, or through Facebook, like the Facebook Messenger thing. You can send it as an attachment if the file size is small enough. If it's too large, you'll probably have to upload it to like Google Drive or YouTube, and then send me a link to it from there. And then how it works is I collect your recordings, and then during the last live stream of the month, the student showcase, I review them. Basically, like if I give you feedback is what I mean by review. And it's basically, you think about it like almost like a one-on-one lesson where you would be playing for me and I would be telling you what's wrong. You kind of do the opposite on the YouTube channel all the time, where I'm doing everything and then you're following along. So it's pretty cool, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it, so we'll keep doing it, and I enjoy it as well. So yeah, send me your submissions. The only rules are 1 submission per student per month. So you can submit a submission every month, but don't send me like 5 pieces or 10 pieces or 2 pieces even. Unless they're really short. If you have 2 short pieces, you can do that. Try to make your recordings no more than 9 or 10 minutes, and honestly shoot for half that if possible, like 4.5, 5 minutes is probably ideal, because if we get a lot of submissions, it'll take hours and hours. So I just want to be able to get through as many as we can. So that's what's happening. Check that out. Make sure that you're subscribed and all that, so you do not, get messed up with that. We got Marcel is going to submit a piece. Perfect. Great. And I'll remind you guys again as we get closer. A lady in the piano says she may submit a piece sometime in the future. That's totally fine. What did Charles say? Charles says, before scales, there were church modes. Very true. Bernstein covers this in a lecture you can find on YouTube. I think I've seen it a long time ago. if we're thinking about the same one. Laredo says maybe it comes from the fact that there were keys that were made of ebony and ivory. Okay, the keys can certainly be in color. So that's why they are black and white. But then, like, I guess the real question everybody wants to know is why are there two different colors? And one thing I can tell you right off the bat is on the piano especially, it helps you tell where you are. Because if these were all white and all the same size especially, you would get very, very confused. At least I think you would. Like, it would all look the same, and it would be terrible, actually. So having the groups of 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2, 3, 2, 3, for me and pretty much every other student, helps you gauge where the notes are. So, for instance, C is always to the left of that group of 2, no matter what. So it helps me pick out the C's a lot faster. So I know, at least in that functionality, that it does serve some kind of purpose. Sarah says I might need more time before submitting. That's fine. But yeah, you can send it any month. You could do it in December. You could do it in January, February. Any month we have the student showcase, you can feel free to submit something. All right. All right, guys. Grams has made me laugh. Thanks for that. I was good. I'm glad I did. That's what happened, because that's what I was trying to do. Lady in Piano says, how about song request Sunday or something? Then you pick. Yeah, you know what? I'll try it out sometime. The problem is, it depends on what the song requests are. Because I can play things from sight, but I can't play them very well if they are difficult. You know what I mean? Like, that takes a really, really high level of sight reading, really, really high level of musicianship and piano. And I can do it if it's like, obviously if it's really easy, but if it's a medium one, like mid-level, I could do it. But if it's like, my recommendation is Liszt, something from Liszt or Rachmaninoff or something. I can't sight read those. So if I did it, it would have to be like within reason. Like pop tunes I could do pretty easy, because they're pretty easy. So I'll think about it. Didn't Beethoven expand the keyboard? Maybe. I know the keyboard changed around the time Beethoven was alive. I'm not sure if maybe he did, but that's news to me. I do know that around the same time the piano did change. It has gone through a few iterations, for sure. Yeah, maybe Beethoven was around the time the forte piano came out. I'm not sure. I'd have to look all this up and then make a lesson on it. I'm wondering if I should do like a history lesson. I've never done a history lesson on the channel before. My editor would probably like that, because that would require a lot of like careful editing and a lot of like B-roll and things like that. So I'll think about that. That's an interesting idea. Maybe I can play my favorite pieces. That would be fun. Like a little recital. I've been thinking about doing that for a while, but the last few months, I've been doing really good working on the channel and developing new courses. Not as good practicing, unfortunately. So I need to get back on that. Is it okay to have your thumb underneath when playing chords? I don't think so. I can't think of a single chord that you would need your thumb underneath for. Yeah, I would avoid that, like the plate, if I'm understanding it correctly. Yeah, history. Like a totally different kind of lesson that's like, not a lesson, but like a totally different kind of video that's like something interesting about a composer or something. You know what I mean? Like something like interesting that Beethoven did, rather than just go through like the story of his life, because I think that would be kind of even boring for me to do. But like something like, because I know he like had trouble getting custody of his kids because he was kind of crazy and stuff like that. So I wouldn't necessarily do that, but like pick something like more specific and go, or maybe like And then I'm going the opposite way. Something specific would be cool, but then something like really overarching in general, like the history of music in 10 minutes, where I just like briefly touch on each time period, like who were the composers then, things like that. That's an interesting idea, and I'm definitely going to give that some strong consideration. Because I am at a point now where I'm looking to make, like I always like to make the lessons better and better and better and better and change little things here and there. But I think I'm starting to get ready for like a new kind of video. You know what I mean? Like something that like the other piano channels aren't doing. That's interesting, you know? So I'm definitely going to think about that. I feel like it would be almost like a school project again, back when I was in history class, where you kind of come up with a thesis and all that stuff. You know, like I hate to say, but like all that stuff you learn in school about like how to write properly, like how you like introduce the first paragraph is basically like the thesis of what you're talking about, and then you kind of give a preview of what you're going to be doing. Like even making videos, it's important to keep all that stuff in mind, and it actually does come in handy when making something that's like really well structured. So I just remember learning all that stuff back in the day and being like, ugh, when are we ever going to use this? But some of it you do. I think it just depends on obviously what you go with for your career. Sarah says increase and enhance motivation for those learning. Yeah, very well could, for sure. Like how a composer wrote a piece. I could do that. That would be interesting. Be really interested in the history aspect of piano. Interesting. So it does look like you guys are on board with that. I want you to play Beatles, says Tony. No, Tony, I'm not going to. Besides, I don't know what Beatles. I know what the group Beatles is. I don't know what the song Beatles is. Beatles, 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 Beatles. That's the one you're talking about, right? We got Crystal Moody back once again. How about focus on a challenging part of a piece and how to overcome the challenge? Interesting, interesting, interesting. I've done lessons like that before. Similar to that, not really necessarily that same thing. History of blues music is fascinating. Okay, so you guys seem to like the history stuff. So, you know, maybe coming in the new year, or maybe like a little bit before the new year in December, and maybe I'll try one of those videos out. I might wait for the new year though, just because it's a new year then, and like, you know, you got new stuff going on. But yeah, I think that's a great idea because, like I said, I want to start branching out and making like stuff not everybody else is doing. I know I'm doing stuff on the channel like that a lot of people aren't doing, at least not in the same way. Like the regular live streams. I know the other piano channels do the live streams, but they don't do them like regularly like we do, and they don't really build, you know, the community the same way, which is fine. Everybody does things a little differently, which is why it's, you know, why we all exist. The movie Copying Beethoven is incredible. I've heard about that. I'll have to check that out for sure. All right, guys, I think I'm going to conclude today. Hello to Barbara, and goodbye, apparently. I am going to end it a little bit early today. I'm still a little bit tired, but I need a little bit of a nap here, I think. So I was up early at the gym, of course. And then working hard. Actually, I get a lot of work done even before the sun comes up. Like I get up at like 5:30 a lot of mornings now, and I just work like until I have to go to the gym. And then I come back and do some more work, things like that. And then every once in a while I'll actually relax. All right, everybody. So thanks for coming by today. I need to make an outro for this video. Okay, let me think of an outro, and then when we piece it together, it will make sense. Let me think about this. Okay. So this book is really going to help you learn piano, but you know what else is going to help you learn piano? The other lessons I have on the channel, so make sure to check them out. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here. Thank you so much for coming by today, and I'm going to see you, yes you, in the next lesson. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. And I'll see you on the flip side. Hey, Philly Will, you made it late, but yeah, I'll see you next time for sure. Watch at least 3 live streams a week. Some of the teachers move too fast if you lack the underlying theory, though. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that there were that many doing that many live streams. But that's cool. Cool, man. Made it late, but see you next time. Any tips on getting through nervousness? I'll have to. Yeah. I'll give you this really quick. This will be my parting wisdom before we go. Tips on nervousness, getting up to like a recital or something like that. One, the preparation is everything. The better you can prepare months ahead of time, the better off you're going to be, the more confident you'll probably be. Number 2 is something a lot of people don't think about, but don't drink a lot of caffeine the day you have a recital. So if you don't drink caffeine, you're fine. If you drink caffeine, drink half as much as you normally would. And the reason is because you don't want to be too nervous. And there's a certain amount of adrenaline and things going through you when you perform that will take care of, you know, your tiredness if you experience any of that. And yeah, other than that, you know, self-talk goes a long way. So just kind of say, like, I can do this. And then once you get to the day of your recital, practice your piece a few times, but don't go crazy with it, drilling over and over again, because then you're going to make yourself more nervous. So like I said, it's all about the prep ahead of time if you can manage that. And then once you get to the day, just say, you know, I'm going to have fun today. I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to do not only my best, but don't start out the day or get through the recital right beforehand thinking like, oh man, this has to be perfect, and this part isn't ready yet, and blah blah blah, and this had this little issue this morning that didn't have it before. Don't start that. Just go. I'm going to go into the day. I'm going to have as much fun as possible, and whatever happens, happens. You'll probably do most cases better than you expect, and if you don't do better than you expect, well, hey, there's the next recital, and that's part of being successful. And as a musician and as a person, is really just keep trying. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to mess up. You're going to be embarrassed. But getting through it is everything. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you get more confidence as well. I know I build the most confidence when, obviously, I do something extraordinarily difficult. But I build a lot of confidence sometimes when I try something, I totally mess it up. But then the next time, I knock it out a home run. That gives me a ton of confidence. So even if you're not 100%, you know, of what you wanted to do, just keep trying at it. So hopefully that was good for you. I'm going to end it here. No more questions because I could probably just keep going forever and ever and ever. But thanks everybody so much for coming today. Really means a lot to me, and have a great day. I'll see you on Friday. So check you later. So I want to give this another couple seconds so it does not mess up. All right. See you guys. Have a good one. And I'll see you next time.